the opportunity to share my app social with you. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. All right, so tell me what you got.
Okay, so have you had an opportunity to read any of the information that we already sent over?
Yep.
Okay, so my name is Laurie Caluwaert, and I invented an app called Social Network Verified. The purpose behind it is to prevent from being predators, not prevent people from being predators, but to help save people from from catfishing. Are you familiar with catfishing is?
Just from the terminology from you, but yeah, I'm clear what it is.
So there's several shows. One is called Catfishing on MTV. The host is Ned, and it talks about all the people who create fake accounts with predatory behaviors in order to either scam people for money online, sex trafficking, and devious behaviors. There's also another show on ID Discovery Channel. It's called Web of Lies, and it deals with everyday, real people's interactions from being catfished and online devious behaviors. So my app, Social Network Verified, is the first of its kind to shift the online paradigm of trust on the internet and give transparency to who you're actually speaking with online.
Awesome. So
do you have any children?
I do.
How old are your children, if you don't mind me asking?
13 and 20.
Okay, so I have a niece, and she's 13 years old. And one of my biggest fears is that my niece is online. She's not allowed to have certain social media profiles, but come on, we know that the children are smarter than us with their smartphones and everything like that. And so they can do everything to block the parents from finding out that they have all of these accounts. But children don't have the wherewithal for the life experiences to understand the dangers of who they're really speaking to online.
Yeah.
So God forbid, my 13-year-old, beautiful, gorgeous niece is speaking to a gentleman that she thinks is 13 years old online, but it's really a 36-year-old sex trafficker or pedophile that she sneaks out of the house to meet. Social Network Verified will give the opportunity for children to have transparency to other children that they're talking with, because we can't prevent them from creating these social media accounts, but we can make it safe for them.
So you're currently up and running on Legitify, right?
No, Legitify is, Legitify is one of our competitors.
Okay. Oh, got it. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Yep.
Are you connected with Legitify?
No, I'm sorry. I was reading it wrong.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
so what you're reading right there is a list of our competitors and what they do.
Got it.
And so I didn't want to bring up any names, but actually what they do is a crowdsourcing situation where you can have people verify and validate and vouch for who you are. So the problem with their solution to catfishing is that it brings a black web.
Yeah, I get
part of it. Okay.
Yeah. So tell me where you are in your development of your app. I mean, have you monetized anything at all yet?
Okay, so here's where we are right now. Is I was able to obtain a United States utility patent for a technology app.
Good for you.
For online verification.
Good.
And above and beyond that, when I was doing this, I went to go do a trademark for Social Network Verified. And what I found out was that nobody had monetized and taken advantage of the check mark for online verification identity. So I'm very proud to share with you that I own the check mark for online identity verification for trademarks.
That's awesome.
I think that's a huge asset to the company, and as well as we have until the end of March for the international patents to decide what countries we want to file the patents in.
Okay. Is that why you need the 1.5?
The $1.5 million is going to go towards growth and expansion, as well as enhancements that I want to make for the next level. Right now, MVP 1 is where we're going to launch. We're fixing all of the bugs. The app is almost ready to go live. So there's going to be a certain portion that's going to be allocated towards growth, that's going to be allocated towards development and enhancements, a lot of features that I can speak with you offline.
Yep.
And then in addition to that, attorney's fees.
Yeah. Are you, so no revenue right now?
We haven't launched the app yet.
How much have you put in personally?
Personally, I put in $46,000, but totally, I think there's about $140,000 that's been invested.
And how much of the company's given away for that?
I own 70% of the company right now.
And you want 1.5 for 25%. So is the 140, is the 5% for other people working, or what? It's the other 5%?
So there's I'm sorry, I own 75%. I apologize.
Okay. And who owns the other 25?
My business partners who invested in the business.
Okay. And are you guys full-time on this, or you guys have jobs? What are you guys doing?
Okay, so I'm a real estate agent full-time,
Okay.
but actually I've been doing this for 3 years full-time because it is really my passion. When I was cyber stalked and I had catfishers, the police told me there was nothing that they could do to help me. And so instead of being a victim anymore, I decided to find a solution for that. And I made this my mission to go and not only help myself, but help other people have a voice. So I work this full time as well as my real estate. I want to share with you that also there's a white label application to this. The news just reported that New Year's Eve, a real estate agent was killed by being lured from a catfisher online from Zillow to go show an open house, and she was murdered and killed. Yeah, it happens all the time. So Social Network Verified is not only a platform for social networks, but it also has a white label application from Craigslist to e-commerce to gaming sites to dating sites. That's where we plan to market originally, because number one, dating sites have the biggest need for transparency of who you're speaking with online. And they're also accustomed to a paid subscription model. And we do the best out of any of our competitors in what we do.
So do you have a use of funds at the 1.5? How do you want, like, who's your tech team? I mean, I'm assuming that the tech on this has got to be
amazing.
6 figures.
Our tech team is really amazing. My patented part of it is amazing, and that's what the infrastructure uses from the user standpoint. So from a user standpoint, the way the app functions is very easy. That's where my technology comes in. We're also leasing the identity verification part when you sign up for the app through another company, and that's where the money comes in and why we have to charge a little bit for the app.
Okay. So who else is on your team? You have your business partner. I'm, not just an investor. I'm also a money expert. So who's on your finance team? Who's on the investor relations team? Who else is on your team?
So we are working very closely with some people who are about to come on board. One of the hardest parts is to get seed funding to actually launch the app.
Yep.
And everybody that we've presented it to in Silicon Valley is very excited about it, but new venture startups sometimes can be scary. We're on a race to the finish line before our idea gets stolen by one of the big five. So we have some internal people from Uber, and then some other people that I can speak with you about offline.
Okay. All right. Have you pitched Reese?
I don't know who Reese is, and I know I have not.
All right.
This is my first time doing Pitch Investors Live. I
Okay.
really believe in my app and what we can do, and I'm so excited to share more information with you offline.
Well, because I want to see a revenue model for it. Because how are you going to monetize? I mean, I think you're thinking sponsors would be huge by now.
Correct.
I mean,
so the match.
right,
So thank you for asking the question. The Match Group has 75 million subscribed users, and the Match Group represents 90% of the online dating sites. As I shared with you before, one of the platforms we want to pitch to is people who are used to a subscription model, as well as have the most need for online transparency. So we want to connect with the Match Group. Now, if you take the numbers of 75 million and you knock them in half, because most people who are online dating sites have more than one platform for dating. If you're on Tinder, you might be on OkCupid or Match.com. So we want to take those numbers and divide them in half, understanding the real demographics of who we're going to pitch to, and see if we can connect a partnership with Match.com group.
Interesting. Okay.
In addition to that, Zillow and other affiliates, starting conversations.
Okay. Have you approached an insurance company?
No, we have not, as we've been finalizing the app itself. And it's been so fun to be part of the creative process. Personally, I'm kind of an investigator because I was a mortgage banker prior to, and I like to do a ton of research. So I've been taking approaches on this app by doing a backwards approach, by pretending that I am the cyber stalker. I am the bad guy number one. And so until I was able to find all of the solutions, I wasn't ready to go to those people. And now I'm confident to say we are so close and right there to bring on people like you.
Awesome. So what do you want our next step to be?
Should there be interest and I to have an offline conversation where I can really share the inner workings with you and what
Can I see a model of it? Can I see a demo?
Absolutely. I have it on my computer right now, and I have it on my phone. I could go ahead and sign you up to Test Flight, which is where the app is originated in, and you can demonstrate and do it for yourself to see what it can do. Prior to that, I'd like to do a walkthrough so you can really understand what it is we do, because I've given you a very...
Yeah, I get it. That's fine. So I would like to see that and your revenue model and how you're going to get to revenue, because your fastest path, I think, is what you've already identified, which is white label, but there's verticals you're not thinking about that are going to be faster, that actually could fund it.
Okay, that would be great.
All right. Okay. So when we exit, let's go to the send message, and then I'll give you my private information. You send it back to me.
Okay, I look forward to it, and thank you so much.
Awesome. Great idea. Well done.
Thank you. Let's make the world a better place together.
Safer.
And you know, one of the things was I was interviewed today by Sunsetnal, one of the reporters there, and he was talking about so I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and the Super Bowl is going to be here in Miami. And one of the things he was talking about is how the district attorney is promoting sex trafficking, not promoting sex trafficking, but promoting safety, because there's going to be so many children abducted and people abducted from very wealthy people that come down for the Super Bowl. So we had the opportunity to talk about SNV and what we can do together to stop this kind of problems. In fact, it's so great that they contacted Uber to say, look for these warning signs. If you see a person like this, if you see these behaviors for the Super Bowl, go ahead and speak. Don't be silent.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, it's great to meet you. Look forward to our next
Likewise.
conversation.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bravo. You added that? That's great at the end.